And here they come, heat number 1 for your POWRi Midwest Modifieds. We're going to send them around. Going to roll in a little bit of the moisture that track owner Clint Gann laid down, and then we're going to turn these fire-breathing dragons loose. Tyler Cadunston, Shannon Geller on that front row. John Dame, Logan Ruar going to be row number 2, followed in by Derek Cook, Garrett Parker. And then you got Oakley Ragland and Kyle Lafferty out there on that 4th and final row. Eight cars, 8 laps going to be the distance here for heat number 1 Midwest Modifieds. Still going to send them around to roll in that moisture. I want to thank everybody for watching at home on Show Me Dirt. I want to thank everybody here in attendance tonight at the mighty Midway Lebanon Speedway in Lebanon, Missouri, right here in the Ozarks. Beautiful Friday night for dirt track racing. There's the sign, ladies and gentlemen. 1 to go from the starter stand. We're going to shut the lights off, and when we come out of turn number 4, we're going to be green flag racing. 8 cars, 8 laps. Cadunston, Geller, Dame, Roar, Cook, Parker, Ragland, and Lafferty. Those are your stars and cars for heat number 1. Opening night at the mighty Midway. Going to fill the work on into turn number 3. We're going to come out at turn number 4. Green flag going to be in the air as we're going to rock and roll down the front stretch. Down into 1 and 2, Shannon Geller's going to have the race lead. Oh, look out, John Dame gets turned around. Ragland and Cook get caught up. Yellow, yellow, yellow. We go immediately to the yellow for the bottom of turn 1. Flag's going to be in the air. We're going to try this one more again as we're going to rock and roll down into 1 and 2. Tyler Cadunston's going to jump out to an early race lead. Here comes the 16A of Shannon Geller down to the bottom side. The 17 of Logan Ruark's going to be there as we got a little bit of bumping and banging back here at the back part of the track. Out at turn number 4, lap 1's going to go to that 8K, followed in by Geller, Ruark, Parker, and Lafferty. That's going to be your top 5. Dane, Cook, and Ragland's going to round out the rest of the field. Single files, we come out of turn 2 down the back stretch. They're going to go. The 8K going to be out front, large and in charge as he's going to lead them out of turn 4. He's going to have another lap led. Shannon Geller going to be running them down, but the 17 Logan Ruar going to be right there all over the back bumper of that 16A machine. Garrett Parker going to hold on to that number 4 spot. John Dame down to the bottom side of Kyle Lafferty. He's going to have a run down. Into 3, they're going to go. Oh, Garrett Parker into the wall at the top of turn 3 and 4. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Lights down. Next time by, we're going to go green flag racing. Can the 8K hold on to that number 1 spot? Or will the 17R of Ruark come up there to steal it away? Will the 55 of Kyle Lafferty come up into the bottom side and take it away? That's your top 3 right there. Cadunston, Ruark, Lafferty. Down into 3, they're going to go. Hit that green cone, green flag, back to green flag racing. Tyler Cadunston got a great jump on that start as he's going to say, see you, bye-bye. The 17 of Ruark going to try to run him back down as Lafferty's going to fade on back. Oakley Ragland to the top side of the 27 of John Dame as he's going to slingshot into that number 4 spot. Ragland now trying to close the gap on the 55. Here comes Garrett Parker down to the bottom side of John Dame as the battle is out here at the back part of the pack between Lafferty, Dame, Ragland, and Parker, but out front it is all Tyler Cadunston in that 8K machine. The 17 to Logan Ruark there in that bright yellow and purple car trying to run him down. 1 and 2 starting to pull away from the rest of the field. Back here at the back part of the field, you got a door-to-door battle between Parker and Dame. The 17 and the 27 going to battle it out. Garrett Parker going to slingshot up in front of him. Kyle Lafferty going to hold on to that number 3 spot. Oakley Ragland having a little bit of handling issues there as he's kind of shuffled back, stayed there in 4th. White flag, 1 to go. It's time to win it or wear it for the 8K and Tyler Cadunston. Logan Ruark going to try to run him down as they're going to go down the back stretch for the final time here in heat race number 1. Into 3, out at turn number 4, you're going to see the checkers for the 8K and Tyler Cadunston. Logan Ruark and Kyle Lafferty, 1, 2, and 3. next, going to be Heat 2 for your Midwest Modifieds. On the pole of Heat number 2 is going to be the 84 of Dayton Newell, and to his outside, the 14 of John Newell. And then look at this, on the inside of row number 2, going to be the 83 of Ben Newell. And on his outside, the 28D of Dylan Dampier. Row number 3, you got the 66 of Zachary Martin, and to his outside, the 2M of John Scott. Row number 4, you got the 25J of Ryan Hargis, and to his outside, the 75 of Colby Lathrop. Look at this. You got all 3 Newells in the same heat. Green flag's going to be in the air as Dayton Newell's going to jump out front. Ben Newell going to be right there. Here comes Dylan Dampier. Oh, doctor, look out. That got dicey. As we're all going to go down the backstretch, everybody's going to make it through 1 and 2 clean and clear. Out at turn number 4, it is the 84 of Dayton Newell, followed in by Ben Newell, John Newell, Dylan Dampier, and Zachary Martin. Dylan Dampier going to get up and around that 14 machine into the number 3 spot. He's going to try to hold on to it as here comes Zachary Martin. He's to the back bumper of the 14 of John Newell. Out front, it is still the 84 at Dayton Newell, the 83 at Ben Newell going to be sitting there in that number 2 spot. Look at the cluster back here from 4th on back. Zachary Martin going to come up into the number 4 spot. And then you got the 25J Ryan Hargis down to the bottom side of John Scott trying to get up and around. He's going to get the daily double 2 for 1. Goes the 25J of Hargis. Hargis going to pick off Scott and Newell, but out front, out at turn 4, it is still the 84 of Dayton Newell. Ben Newell all over that back bumper. Here comes Dylan Dampier across the stripe. Zachary Martin, Ryan Hargis going to be your top 5. Followed in by John Newell, John Scott. And here comes the 75 of Colby Lathrop. Dayton Newell holding on to that number 1 spot. But look at this. Ben Newell going to go top side. Going to bobble it. Drag race down the back stretch. You got a new race leader going into turn number 3. Out at turn number 4, it's going to be a door-to-door battle, silhouetting it. Ben Newell to the race lead. Bang, got him. Dayton Newell going to shuffle back to 2nd. Dylan Dampier going to hold on to that number 3 spot as you got Zachary Martin holds on to 4th. White flag, 1 to go. Down into turn 3 for the final time. You're going to come out of turn 4. Checkered flag for the 83 of Ben Newell. Dayton Newell takes 2nd. And Dylan Dampier going to be your top 3. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, going to be our 3rd and final heat for your Power Eye Midwest Modifieds. On the pole is going to be the 34C of Jake, the Wheelman Carter. To his outside, the 6 of Corey Henson. Row number 2 is going to be the 21 of Austin Wake and the 87 of Aaron Odell. Row 3, you got the 26 of Colt Barker and the... Okay, something ain't right. So it looks like it's going to be Colt Barker and the 77 of Zach Willis there in row number 3. And then row number 4 is going to be the 44R Randall Cushing and the 5 of the 65 Junior Carter Jackson. Lights are off. We're going to come out of turn number 4. Green flag going to be in the air with your 3rd and final heat race. Jake Carter going to lead the way down into 1 and 2. Look out. The 21 goes way up the hill. A lot of people going to slingshot by Austin Wake. That's going to be Odell. Oh, Corey Henson gets in there a little sideways. Carter, he's going to click in, clock out, and be gone like yesterday. Look out. Everybody's all slipping and sliding. It's not a slip and slide. Oh, a little bit of contact. Colt Barker going to save it. Jake Carter going to be way out front. Here comes the 77 of Zach Willis. He's got the 87 of Aaron Odell all over the back bumper. Carter Jackson up into that top 5 as Carter Jackson, one of the young guns, the protege, as he's going to be down into turn number 3. Jake Carter all by himself like the chess club president on prom night, ladies and gentlemen, as he's got a full straightaway lead on the 77 of Zach Willis. The 87 of Aaron Odell going to be sitting in third. Corey Henson fourth. Carter Jackson going to be in that number 5 spot, followed in by the 21 of Austin Wake, the 44 of Randall Cushing, and the 26 of Colt Barker back there at the back part of the field. Now you got the wheelman, Jake Carter, coming up to the back part, about to have some lap traffic. Hey, you guys got company. Here comes the wheelman. Step aside. That got dicey. Uh-oh, the 21. Austin Wake off the power. Austin Wake off the power. Yellow is out. Yellow is out. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Oh, now he got it running. So Jake Carter threaded the needle and tried to slingshot down on the bottom side, and his right rear, as you can see, and the sail panel, made contact with the left rear of Austin Wake, and now neither one of them are very aerodynamic. Don't worry, Carter, just put some duct tape on it. It'll be all right. Lights off, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be green flag when they come out of turn number 4. Jake Carter, the wheelman, out front. Zach Willis going to be there in second. Aaron Odell third. Corey Henson fourth. And the protege, Carter Jackson, there in that 65 junior, going to round out your top 5. Then you got Colt Barker going to be in that number 6 spot. Randall Cushing and Austin Wake rounds out the field. Green flag going to be in the air as we're going to hustle on down to the 1 and 2. Oh, Carter Jackson went way high. That's going to let the 26 be a Colt Barker get around. As we're going to go through 3 and 4. Jackson going to go right to the top side again. He's going to try to run it up on the top shelf. Not going to get it to stick as we got 2 to go. Colt Barker now up into that number 4 spot, trying to run down the 87 of Aaron Odell to crack the top 3. As we come out of turn 4, you're going to see the doctor's jacket 1 to go. Down the back stretch, going to go the 34C. White or checkered flag for the 34C of Jake Carter. Zach Willis and Colt Barker, your top 3. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, we got the Young Gun Hornets. And I tell you what, this Young Gun Hornets class is literally for the young guns, the younger kids, the 12, 13-year-olds up to 17. So I think it's only fitting if we let a young gun announce the Young Gun Hornets. So I'm going to hand the mic off to my son here. He's an 11-year-old. He's going to be our Young Gun announcer. Charles, tell us the starting lineup.
On row number 1, we're going to have the 4B of Connor Reed. On the outside of Connor Reed, we're going to have the number 8 of Carter Parrish. row number 2, we're going to have the 25 of Landon Sturgeon. On the outside of Landon Sturgeon, we have the 44 of Peyton Willis. Lights up.
Lights are off, ladies and gentlemen. 6 laps going to be the distance as we're going to fill the work on into turn number 3.
Green flag. The 4B is going to come out of turn number 1. Coming out of turn 3 and 4. 4B still your race leader. The number 8 is going to try to catch up to him. Coming out of turn 1 and
The 4B of Connor Reed going to lead the way on down the backstretch. You got the 8 of Carter Parrish going to be sitting there in that number 2 spot. Peyton Willis going to round out the top 3. And then you got the 25 of Landon Sturgeon as these young guns come thundering down the front stretch, down to 1 and 2. 6 laps going to be the distance. I tell you what, these guys right here and girls, I'm sorry, Peyton, and girls, guys and girls, are the future of this sport. As they come out of turn number 4, you still got the 4B of Connor Reed, your race leader, the 8 of Carter Parrish going to be sitting there in second, Peyton Willis third, and Landon Sturgeon going to round out your top 4.
coming out of turn 3 and 4 with the 4B, still your race leader. Coming out of turn 1 and 2.
Out of turn 4, you're going to see the doctor's jacket. 1 more lap to go. It's time to win it or wear it. Look at that, the 8 of Carter Parrish. He's trying to run down that 4B of Connor Reed down the backstretch. They're going to go for the final time. Into 3, it's going to be an all-out dogfight as they come through. Out of turn number 4, you got the checkered flag for the 4B of Connor Reed. Carter Parrish, Peyton Willis, 1, 2, and 3. As that wraps up heat number 1 for your Young Gun Hornets, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to the crowd. Yeah, talk them up, cheer them on, clap, snap them photos, because these are the future of dirt track racing. And I am excited about this class. I really like that Landon Sturgeon right there. He don't want to leave. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to stay out here and run the next heat too. Never mind, he got in trouble by the race director. All right, here comes heat number 2 for your Young Gun Hornets.
Row number 1, the inside, we got Ryan Wolganut. On the outside, we have the 5C of Callie Martin. Row number 2, on the inside, we have the 66 of Mac Dumblin. On the outside, we have the 18 of Maddox Dunn. We're gonna go lights off. We're gonna come down the back stretch out of turn 3 and 4. And we're gonna go green flag. As we're gonna be reaching turn 1 and 2, we're gonna have a battle between number 5C of Coley Martin and the 23 of. Now it's a battle for second between the 66.
Ryan Wolgermont going to be out front there, but here comes the 5C of Callie Martin, and down to the bottom side goes the 66 of Max Dublin. Looks like Martin might be off the power. A little bit of trouble there as 2 cars are going to slingshot by the 66 of Dublin, trying to run down that 23 machine of Wolgermont. Here comes the 18 of Maddox Dunn. He's going to try to run down that 66 machine. As everybody's running clean and clear down the back stretch, we're going to go single file, choo-choo train style. Out of turn number 4, it is still the 23 of Ryan Wolgamont, the 66 of Max Dublin. Maddox Dunn going to be your top 3, and Callie Martin going to round out your top 4.
We're going to come down the back stretch into turn 3 and 4. Number 66 is going to try to run the high side and try to get in front of the leader, the 23 of Ryan Walnut. Ryan Walnut, still your race leader. We got a new race leader, 66 Max Dumlin. It's going to be a battle between the 23 of Ryan Walnut out of turn 3 and 4. Number 66 is going to take the high side. White flag. And we got a new race leader and coming into turn 1 and 2 with your new race leader, the 66 of Max Dublin. Coming down the back stretch is number 66, Max Dublin, still your race leader. Maddox Dunn's about there's going to be a battle between checkered flag and Max Dublin, Ryan Walnut, and Max Dunn.
That was awesome. I love this class. Young Gun Hornets, Young Gun Racers with a Young Gun announcer. That was a lot of fun, ladies and gentlemen. Up next, oh, buddy. Woo! Give him a hand. Hey, how about Callie Martin? Can she get a hand? There we go. Now you got some Power Eye Pure Stocks. Heat number 1 on the pole is going to be the 0 of James Reedus and his outside, the 78 of Orso Sterling. Row number 2, you're going to be the 32 of Richard Adams and the 21 of Carson Groniger. Row number 3, your third and final row is going to be the 5 of Justin McDowell and the 26 of Preston McDowell. Green flag going to be in the air as we're going to hustle on down to the 1 and 2. Look at that, 3 wide down the front stretch. James Reedus out front, Richard Adams, Justin McDowell, Carson Groniger. You got a 4-car battle up front. James Reedus there in that FAFO machine as he's going to lead the way out of turn number 4, followed in by Adams, McDowell, Groniger, and McDowell. Justin McDowell now to the bottom side of Richard Adams. They're going to duke it out like 2 prize fighters, silhouetting it door to door down the back stretch into 3. They're going to go out front. It is all James Reedus right now, but he's got 2 cars chomping at the bit to get up and around him, waiting for him to bobble it or make a mistake. Carson Groniger going to be sitting there in that number 4 spot, and Preston McDowell going to be back there rounding out your top 5. Orso Sterling running a good run right here. He's still a new guy. He's learning, and he's doing a great job. Reedus still your race leader. Adams, McDowell. Now you got a battle for 4th between Preston McDowell and Carson Groniger as they're going to be door to door out of turn 2 down the back stretch. Out at turn number 4, the 0 James Reed is going to lead the way. Richard Adams, Justin McDowell, Carson Groniger, Preston McDowell going to be your top 5 as we're going to go through 1 and 2. Everybody's going to be clean and clear as they go down the back stretch. Justin McDowell still trying to get up and around that 32 of Richard Adams, as they have been duking it out all race long. Adams has had a slight edge over McDowell as we got the white flag, 1 to go. Down the back stretch, we're going to go for the final time, the 0 of James Reedus. Adams, McDowell coming out of turn number 4. You're going to see the checkered for the 0 with James Reedus, Richard Adams, and Justin McDowell, 1, 2, and 3. Out of turn 3, coming out onto the track comes heat number 2, your second and final heat for your Power Eye Pure Stocks. On the pole is going to be the 19 of Trenton Houston and his outside, the N42 of Chad Nivens. Row number 2 is going to be the 42 of Trevor Ellingson and his outside, the 68 of Rhonda Lampke. And in third row, all by his lonesome, Wagon Power, ladies and gentlemen, driving that grocery getter right there, the 21M of Peyton McDowell. Lights are off, ladies and gentlemen. Down into turn 3 at a snail's pace. We're going to go. See the green cone? Green flag. Let's go. Down the front stretch. Going to be almost 3 wide as we go. Almost 4 wide going down into 1 and 2. Out front is Trenton Houston, Chad Nivens. Here comes Trevor Ellingson right there in that 42 machine. Peyton McDowell going to be up into the number 4 spot as they're going to be 3 deep. Time to sell it cheap through 3 and 4. And at turn number 4, Nivens to the race lead. And I have no idea who was in second. That was too close to call. Oh! Trenton Houston going to get up into the number 2 spot as Ellingson kind of hit the brakes. And then old McDowell gave him a little shot to the shorts and said, hey, I'm right behind you. Let's go. Out of turn 4, it is still Chad Nivens, your race leader. Trenton Houston, Trevor Ellingson, and Peyton McDowell. Rhonda Lampke going to be right there rounding out your top 5. As McDowell's having a little bit of trouble trying to get up and around that 42 machine of Trevor Ellingson, but out front it is the N42 of Chad Nivens. Look at that man go. Trenton Houston trying to run him down. Trevor Ellingson, Peyton McDowell. Oh, yellow, 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 yellow is out, yellow is out. So Chad Nivens going to be your race leader, ladies and gentlemen. Trenton Houston going to pick the top side in this Delaware double file restart. I see the drone. What's up, buddy? Trevor Ellingson going to go down on the bottom side of row number 2. Peyton McDowell going to the bottom side. Rhonda Lampke going to come up into the top side there in row number 3. That drone scared the death out of me. I'm being attacked. I felt like aliens were coming to abduct me. Out of turn 4. Green flag's going to be back in the air. Can the N42 of Chad Nivens hold on and pick up a heat race win here tonight? Opening night of the mighty Midway Lebanon Speedway. Down the backstretch into 3, we're going to go. Chad Nivens looks real good going through 3 and 4 as he's going to stretch out that lead a little bit. Trenton Houston going to hold on to that number 2 spot. Trevor Ellingson down there on the bottom in that 42 machine. If I remember correctly, I believe the 42 of Trevor Ellingson, I believe that is Trenton Houston's old car. And now Trenton Houston's out there trying to have to outrun his old car. Peyton McDowell right there in 4th. He seems to got something figured up, moving up on the top part of the speedway as McDowell's going to come into that number 3 spot. Chad Nivens still your race leader. We got 2 more trips around. Can Nivens hold on to that race lead? The 19 of Houston starting to run him down. Here comes the 21 of Peyton McDowell. They're going to come out of turn number 4. You're going to see the white flag. 1 more trip. Keep on the loud pedal, Nivens. Down through 1 and 2, they're going to go. Out of turn 2, down the backstretch, going to be a drag race. Oh, a little bit of contact, bumping and banging down there. Going into turn 3 for the final time. Coming out of turn number 4 to the checkers. The N42 of Chad Nivens. Trenton Houston, Peyton McDowell, 1, 2, and 3. Here they come, your Power Eye Hornets. Heat number 1 on the pole is going to be the 21B Amani Barclay, into his outside the 93 of Daniel Barton. Row number 2 is going to be the 51F of Levi Felton, and his outside the 2M of Corbin Mooney. Row number 3 is going to be the 57 of Josh Clark, and his outside the 63W of David Kirkpatrick. And your 4th and final row, all by his lonesome, the 2 of Mr. Justin Day. Out of turn number 4, green flag, heat number 1, Hornets. Down and dirty, Daniel Barton going to jump out to that early race lead, but here comes the 2M. Corbin Mooney, Monty Barclay's there, the 63 of David Kirkpatrick's coming. Here comes Josh Clark in that 57 machine. Look at the cluster, the herd you got. Corbin Mooney trying to get around Barton on the outside. As they're going to be door-to-door down the backstretch into 3, they're going to go. Here comes Kirkpatrick. Everybody's just going to form a single file line and come around on the top side. Barton, you got to get up a little higher, bud. As they're going to go down on the 1 and 2. Daniel Barton going to throw it in there a little harder than normal. As Mooney's got the race lead. Oh, Patrick's got problems. David Kirkpatrick's got problems. That held up Clark and Barclay. That's going to let Barton hold on to that number 2 spot as David Kirkpatrick's coming to a stop at the top of turn 3 and 4. And yellow is out. Yellow is out. We go immediately to the yellow. All right, lights off. 1 to go from the starter stand. We're going to be green flag when they come out of turn number 4. Corbin Mooney going to be out front in the Delaware double file. Daniel Barton chose to go to the bottom side. That's going to put Josh Clark on the top side. That's your top 3. Monty Barclay down to the bottom, and Justin Day to the top. That's your top 5. And Levi Felton's going to round out the field there in that number 6 spot. Out of turn number 4, green flag is going to be in the air. Josh Clark got a good jump, but so did Corbin Mooney. Here comes the 2 of Justin Day. He's going to try to slingshot it around, going to find a line. Justin Day almost tried to go around Daniel Barton and had to check up and get on the brakes. Corbin Mooney up on the top side. Josh Clark down on the bottom side. Drag race to the line. Everybody makes it through 1 and 2. It is Mooney, Clark, Barton, Day, Barclay, and Felton. Josh Clark all over the back bumper there of Corbin Mooney. Clark gives Mooney a little shot to the shorts and says, let's go, pick up the speed. As we're going to go down into 3 and 4. It is still the 2M of Corbin Mooney out front. Here we go, into 3. Everybody's still kind of single file. They're going to come out of turn number 4. They're going to see that white flag. 1 to go for the 2M of Corbin Mooney. Daniel Barton holds on to that number 3 spot, but he's got the 2 of Justin Day all over the back bumper there as we're going to go down the back stretch for the final time. Into 3, coming out of turn number 4 to the checkered flag for the 2M of Corbin Mooney. Josh Clark, Daniel Barton, your top 3. Here we go, heat number 2 for your Power Eye Hornets on the pole is going to be the 195 of Tyler Dawson, and his outside, the 3M of Bobby Mooney. Row number 2 is going to be the 05G of Grayson McKinney and the 80 of Jim Cook. And your third and final row is going to be the 6 of Dustin Reeves and the 12 in of Natalie Crow. Green flag is in the air. All right, here we go. Out of turn number 4, drag race to the line. It's going to be Bobby Mooney, Tyler Dawson, Grayson McKinney, Dustin Reeves, Jim Cook, your top 5. Bobby Mooney down there to the bottom side. He's got that 195 to the top side. They're going to be door to door down the back stretch, silhouetting it as we go into turn 3. It is an all-out dogfight up here for that number 1 spot. Out of turn 4, it is now Tyler Dawson to the race lead, followed in by Mooney and Reeves. Bobby Mooney trying everything he can. Yellow, 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 yellow. Yellow is out. Yellow is out. I'll be honest, I don't know why. I believe I heard debris in turn 2. Debris in turn 2. We got debris. Race car. Another race car. So Bobby Mooney going to go to the bottom side. That's going to put Dustin Reeves up. Grayson McKinney down, and Natalie Crow going to be up. Tyler Dawson going to be out front by his lonesome. Lights are off, ladies and gentlemen. Down out of turn 4, green flag's going to be up and out and in the air. Dustin Reeves off to a good jump there as he's going to be up to the outside of Tyler Dawson. As we're going to go down to the 1 and 2, Reeves, he's got to run down the back stretch. You got a new race leader going down into 3, but Tyler Dawson's going to battle it back. Corbin Mooney almost lost it. As you got a new race leader, the 6 of Dustin Reeves, Tyler Dawson, Corbin Mooney, or Bobby Mooney, I'm sorry, Bobby Mooney. And that 3M machine, that's a father-son team. I get them confused a lot. Grayson McKinney going to be sitting there in the number 4 spot. Natalie Crow going to round out your top 5. Out of turn 4, it is Reeves, Dawson, Mooney, and McKinney. And them 3 up front, Reeves, Dawson, and Mooney are battling it out like heavyweight champions of the world, ladies and gentlemen. Dustin Reeves still your race leaders. They're going to go down the back stretch. Tyler Dawson going to hold on to that number 2 spot, but he's got that 3M all over that back bumper. You're going to see the white flag one more trip around. A little bit of lap traffic here as we go into turn 3 for the final time. Coming out of turn number 4, checkered flag for the 6 of Dustin Reeves, Tyler Dawson, Bobby Mooney. Going to be 1, 2, and 3. Oh, trouble in turn 1 and 2. Natalie Crow decided to go monster trucking. Natalie Crow went monster trucking up over the 195 of Tyler Dawson. I don't know how it happened or why. I looked over and seen the bottom side of Natalie's car. Oh, is that Callie Martin? I just recognized the fire suit. I didn't know. I was praying it was her. If not, I was going to feel real awkward. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for one of our young gun Hornet drivers, Callie Martin. You got some fans, girl. Crawfish, go get her autograph. Hey, Crawfish. So we got 3 more heat races and then a B feature. And then we're going to take a little intermission, and then we're going to come back with feature events. So is everybody excited? Okay, we talked about this earlier, but we'll work on it again. Here comes heat number 1 for your Power IB mods on the pole. Going to be the 35E of Luke Aiken into his outside, the 16M of Brian Myers. Row number 2 is going to be the 30 of Rex Harris and the 14C of Cody Crabtree. Row 5 going to be the 5, or row 3 and 5th going to be the 5C of Brian Cook into his outside, the 6T of Austin Treadway. And riding shotgun all by his lonesome in row number 4 is going to be the 65 of Chris Jackson. Here we go. Lights are down, 1 to go from the starter stand. We're going to be green flag racing when they come out of turn number 4. Luke Aiken on that front row into his outside, the Batman Brian Myers. But look back here at the back part of the field. It is the 65 of Chris Jackson. Down the back stretch, we are going to go heat number 1, Power IB mods. It's about to get real as we're going to turn these fire-breathing dragons loose. Down into 3, they're going to hit that green cone. Green flag going to be in the air for modified. Heat number 1. Rex Harris going to make it a 3-car battle. A little bit of contact between Myers and Aiken as you got an all-out dogfight up front. Here comes Chris Jackson already up into the top 5. As Rex Harris going to take lap number 1. Luke Aiken, Brian Myers, Chris Jackson, Brian Cook going to be your top 5. Out of turn number 4, it is still Rex Harris, Aiken. Now Jackson up into 3rd. Followed in by Luke Aiken went way high. He's going to let the 65 of Jackson come around into that number 2 spot. Chris Jackson started in the worst. Now he's going to try to run down first. Rex Harris has got a tremendous lead right now. Brian Myers up into that number 3 spot ahead of the 35 of Luke Aiken. Now the 5C of Brian Cook going to try to get out of 5th and into 4th. As we come out of turn 4 with your race leader, the 30 of Rex Harris. Chris Jackson, Brian Myers, that's the top 3. Luke Aiken, Brian Cook, your top 5. Cody Crabtree and Austin Treadway rounds out the top 7. As it is all Rex Harris right now. He's been in charge since the drop of green. And he's got 2 more trips around. Can he hold on? Can the 65 of Jackson run him down? I don't think Jackson has enough real estate. White flag, 1 to go. Out of turn 4, checkered flag for the 30 of Rex Harris. Chris Jackson takes 2nd, and the Batman, Brian Myers, takes 3rd. And that's going to wrap up heat number 1 for your Power IB mods. Up next is going to be heat number 2 on the pole. It's going to be the 2A of Scott Lunsford into his outside, the 2 of Eric Graves. Row number 2 is going to be the 15 of Jeremy Hazel into his outside, the 5 of Robert White. Row number 3 is going to be the 86 of Jeff Albright and the 88 of Lonnie Hibner. So the 77 is Jeremy Hazel, but for some reason it's in my race pass as the 15. Not sure how that works. Green flag out of turn number 4 as we're going to rock and roll down into 1 and 2. Oh, Eric Graves going to jump out to the race lead. Here comes Robert White, going to try to follow him on the top side. Scott Lunsford going to slide it up the hill, chop the nose off of White. Now White going to go down to the bottom side. Here comes the 86 of Albright. Oh, look out, the 88 of Lonnie Hibner kind of. Look out, Mama Melanie. It's still Eric Graves, Robert White, Scott Lunsford. Lunsford got a lot of smoke. Oh, he's got rear end trouble. Lunsford's got he's got a broken rear end. I can tell from looking at that left rear, but he's going to stay on the throttle. Something bad's going to go wrong. Yeah, Lunsford's got... He's got Scott Lunsford. I'm just amazed right now watching Scott Lunsford. He's got rear end trouble bad. Turn 4, it is still Robert White, Eric Graves, Jeff Albright going to be your top 3. White flag, one more trip around for the 5 of Robert White. Can he hold on? Eric Graves going to be sitting there in second. Jeff Albright going to round out your top 3 as they're going to go down the back stretch for the final time. Coming out of turn number 4. It is going to be the 5 of Robert White, Eric Graves, and Jeff Albright, your top 3. Here comes your third and final heat race for your Power IB mods. On the pole is going to be the 28 of Wesley Briggs into his outside. The 55 of Colson Kirk. Row number 2 is going to be the 11 of Waylon Demon into his outside. The 20D of Dawson David. Row number 3 is going to be the 68 of Donnie Betts and the 49 of Mason Rodden. Lights are off, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be green flag when they come out of turn number 4. Briggs, Kirk on that front row. Into 3 coming out of turn number 4. No, 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 no. All right, race fans, we're going to try it one more again. Wesley Briggs, Colson Kirk on the front row, Waylon Dimmitt, Dawson David, row number 2, Donnie Betts, Mason Rodden. Going to be at third and final row. Down into turn number 3, we're going to go out at turn number 4. Green flag is going to be in the air. Oh, everybody's going to be clean and clear through 1 and 2. As Colson Kirk going to jump out to that race lead. Wesley Briggs going to chop the nose off of Dawson David, I get his name right eventually. As he's slicing and dicing, going to slingshot around Dimmitt. Now he's going to pick off Wesley Briggs, going to try to run down that 55. Waylon Dimmitt going to follow David there around the 28 of Wesley Briggs. Out front, it is all the 55 of Colson Kirk. David, Dimmitt, that's your top 3. Briggs, Betts, and Rodden going to be the rest of the field. Out of turn 4, it is the 55 of Colson Kirk. But the 20D of Dawson David trying to run him down and reel him in. Waylon Dimmitt holding on to that number 3 spot. Hey, Midwest Mod B feature, you need to be in staging. Midwest Mod B feature, you need to be in staging now. Sorry about that for all the folks watching at home. I hope my Midwest Mod B feature gets in staging. Out of turn number 4, it is still Colson Kirk, but he's got that 20D of Dawson David all over the back bumper, knocking on the door. Oh, there we go, a little shot to the shorts, letting Colson Kirk know that I'm here. Here's Dawson. White flag, 1 to go. Drag race is on as Dawson David going to take the top shelf. You got a new race leader down the back. He's pulled off the track. Midwest Mod B feature's about to roll out. If you ain't in staging, I guess you ain't racing. Here comes your Midwest Modified B feature if you look to the top of turn 3. Hey, are those Young Gun racers down there? Hey, you 3 boys in the fire suits. Are you guys Young Gun racers? Yeah, y'all right down there. Are you guys Young Gun racers? Hey, let's give these Young Guns a round of applause. You guys did awesome. Here we go, Midwest Modified B feature. You got the 2M of John Scott with the 14 of John Newell. Top 4 are moving on. The 21 of Austin Wake, the 7C of Derek Cook, the 44 of Randall Cushing, and the 65 junior of Carter Jackson, who looks like he's got some body damage. The 75 of Colby Lathrop. Lathrop. I've been saying it wrong all night. I apologize. Lathrop. Colby Lathrop is going to join the field. So we're only missing one, and that's the 16A of Shannon Geller, but he had trouble in his heat race. So it appears he is unable to make the call. All right, race fans, here we go down into turn 3, Midwest Modified B feature. Green flag is going to be up and out and in the air. Top 4 going to move on. John Scott's got the race lead. John Newell, Derek Cook. That's the top 3 rocking and rolling right now. Top 4 going to move on. That's going to be the 21 of Austin Wake. He holds on to that 4th and final transfer spot. As we're going to go down the backstretch, look at the battle you got up front between John Scott, John Newell, and Derek Cook. Debris, 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 debris. We got debris in turn 2. Debris in turn 2. Yellow is out, yellow is out. Green flag is going to be in the air as we're going to rock and roll down into 1 and 2. John Scott still your race leader. Derek Cook sits in second. John Newell going to be there in that number 3 spot. Top 4 is moving on, and right now the 21 of Austin Wake holds on to that 4th and final transfer spot. As here comes the 75 of Colby Lathrop. Oh, look out. Trouble in turn 1 and 2. Austin Wake loops it around. Colby Lathrop and Randall Cushing had nowhere to go. Oh no, the 2M of John Scott is going to the infield. Rut-row, Raggy. I see the window net is down. Tough break for the 2M of John Scott. So now, Derek Cook is your new race leader, followed in by John Newell, Carter Jackson, and the 21 of Austin Wake. So Colby Lathrop going to move up into that number 5 spot. That's going to put the 44 Randall Cushing back into 5th or 6th. Cook, Newell, Jackson, and Wake going to be your top 4. All right, Delaware double file restart. Derek Cook going to be out front by his lonesome. John Newell's going to pick the bottom side of the speedway. That's going to put Carter Jackson there in that 65 junior to the top side. Austin Wake going to go down to the bottom side. Colby Lathrop going to go to the top side. And Randall Cushing going to be there all by his lonesome. Green flag is going to be up and out and in the air. 3 down, 5 to go here in B feature time. Derek Cook going to hold on through 1 and 2. John Newell's going to be there. Carter Jackson going to try to run down your race leaders as Jackson going to be sitting in that number 3 spot. Right now, Colby Lathrop going to be in that 4th and final transfer spot as we got halfway home. 4 down, 4 to go. Oh, look out. Derek Cook off the power. Cook off the power. That's going to let everybody come around. And Cook is going to the infield. It is John Newell, Carter Jackson, Randall Cushing, Colby Lathrop. That's your top 4. Austin Wake rounds out the field as the 7C of Derek Cook went to the infield. They're going to cross the stripe with 2 more trips to round. 2 more trips to go. Can John Newell? Oh, John Newell bobbles it. Here comes the 65 junior. Carter Jackson there in that number 2 spot. First night racing in his modified white flag. 1 to go. Here we go out of turn number 4. You're going to see the black and white checkered for the 14 of John Newell. Carter Jackson second, Randall Cushing third, and Colby Lathrop going to round out your top 4 that's moving on. All right, race fans, we're going to roll the first feature of the night out onto the track. And they're going to roll in the moisture laid down by track owner Clint Gann. I'm going to go ahead and give you the starting lineup. On the pole, it's going to be the 83 of Ben Newell into his outside, the 77 of Zach Willis. Row number 2, going to be the 8K of Tyler Cadunston into his outside, the 34C of Jake Carter. Row number 3 is going to be the 55 of Kyle Lafferty and the 17R of Logan Rurk. Row number 4, you got the 84 of Dayton Newell into his outside, the 26 of Colt Barker. Row number 5 going to be the 28D of Dylan Dampier and the 15R of Oakley Ragland. Row 6, you got the 66 of Zachary Martin and the 87 of Aaron Odell. Row number 7 going to be the 25J of Ryan Hargis and the 17 of Garrett Parker. Row number 8 going to be the 6 of Corey Henson and the 27 of John Dane. Row number 9 going to be the 14 of John Newell and the 65 junior of Carter Jackson. And your 10th and final row going to be the 44R of Randall Cushing and the 75 of Colby Lathrop. Colby Lathrop. Lathrop. I knew I was going to say it wrong. Colby Lathrop. Lathrop, Lathrop, Lathrop. Here we go. Lights off. 1 to go from the starter stand. 20 trips around the mighty Midway. $515 on the line to the winner. Ben Newell. Zach Willis on that front row. Down into 3, we're going to go for our first feature of the night. Out of turn 4, Midwest Modifieds, green flag. All right, we're going to rock and roll down to 1 and 2. You're going to see a 3 wide out of turn. Oh, look out. Ryan Hargis goes around to the bottom of 1 and 2. Ryan Hargis goes around. Yellow, 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 yellow. Yellow is out. Yellow is out for the 25J of Ryan Hargis. All right, so Ryan Hargis had a little trouble down through 1 and 2. Did not get a lap completed, so we still got 20 to go. Everybody's going to be in their original starting spots except the 25J, who's going to go tailback. Here we go, 1 to go from the starter stand. We're going to try it again. Lights off. Here we go down into turn number 3. We're going to try it again. Newell, Willis, green flag. Here we go. 20 trips around 5:15 on the line. Ben Newell going to lead them on down to 1 and 2. Tyler Canunston going to be sitting there. Look at that 3 deep. Time to sell it cheap. Oh, you got bumping and banging all down the back stretch. We look like bumper cars. Yeah, out of turn number 4, lap 1. Going to go to Ben Newell, Tyler Canunston. Zach Willis going to be your top 3. We got a lap completed. Everybody clean and clear through 1 and 2 for the second time. You got your leaders coming out of turn number 4. It is Newell, Canunston, now Roark, Willis, Lafferty. That's your top 5. Jake Carter, the wheelman, odd man out looking in, sitting in 6. Now Carter going to go up into that number 5 spot. Oh, look out, trouble, trouble, trouble. Trouble in 3 and 4. The 27 of John Dame went around. It looked like John Newell kind of got into the backside of Ryan Hargis, and that sent him around. So, lot of trouble there in 3 and 4. Here we go. We're going to try it again. We got a couple laps completed before we had some mayhem. 3 laps down, 17 to go. Ben Newell going to be out front there by his lonesome. Tyler Cadunston going to the top side. That's going to put the 17 of Logan Roark down. Zach Willis sits in fourth. He goes to the bottom side. The wheel man, Jake Carter, he's in fifth. He's going to go to the top side. That's your top five. Then you got Kyle Lafferty and Dayton Newell, 6 and 7. Out of turn number 4, we are back to green flag racing as Ben Newell's going to lead the charge. Jake Carter got a good jump there as he's up into the number 4 spot, trying to battle it out with your race leaders. We're going to come out of turn number 4, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we got trouble again. Colt Barker down at the bottom side of turn 4. Colt Barker to the bottom side of turn 4. Yellow is out for Colt Barker. One to go from the starter stand. We're going to double them up bumper to bumper, door to door. 4 laps completed. 16 to go. Down the backstretch, we're going to go with a field of cars. Ben Newell, he's been the man with the plan as they come out of turn number 4. Green flag's going to be in the air as we're going to hustle on down to 1 and 2. Everybody gets through 1 and 2 clean and clear. Now we're going to try treacherous turn 3 and terrifying turn 4. As look out, Oakley Ragland off the power at the top of 3 and 4. But we got a lap completed. That's 5 down, 15 to go. Ragland at a snail's pace. He's trying to get off. Yellow, 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 yellow. So Oakley Ragland going pit side with a right front flat. We're all right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. 1 to go, lights off. Keith, the flag man's going to do the jig coming out of turn number 4. Green flag's going to be back up and in the air. 15 down, 15 to go here for 515 to win. As we're going to hustle on down to the 1 and 2. A little bit of bumping and banging back here in the back part of the field between just about everybody. As we're going to come back up front here with your race leader, the 83 of Ben Newell, as he's going to cross the stripe. 6 down. Tyler Cadunston going to sit in that number 2 spot. Logan Roark right there. Now Roark going to come up into that number 2 spot. Dayton Newell up and around Jake Carter into 4th. As Carter shuffles back into the number 5 spot. Ben Newell still your race leader as he's got 7 laps in the books. Ben Newell trying to say see you bye-bye as he's trying to get as much space between him and the rest of the field as possible. Uh-oh, Garrett Parker goes around it. Garrett Parker goes around on the bottom of turn 4, bringing out yet another caution for the night. So right now it is Ben Newell out front. Tyler Cadunston going to go to the bottom side. Logan Rourke's going to have to go to the top side. 84 at Dayton Newell goes down. The 34C of Jake Carter goes up. That's your top 5. Followed in by Kyle Lafferty, Zach Martin, Zach Willis, Dylan Dampier, Ryan Hargis, and Colt Barker. Green flag is up, and oh, look out. Colt Barker hits that tire again. All right, so the 26B of Colt Barker is going pit side. He's being sent pit side. The rule is if you are the cause of 2 cautions by yourself, you go pit side. He hit that turn 4 tire earlier in the night. Then he just took it out again. I think he's got something against that tire. I really think the 26B has got a personal vendetta against that infield tractor tire because that's twice he's hitting it. But 26B does have to go pit side as his night is done. And there he goes. Now we're going to do a single file restart. The reason we're doing a single file restart is because, well, we can't get very many laps completed in between cautions. So we're going to do a single file restart and see if that helps. Ben Newell, Tyler Cadunston, Logan Rourke, Dayton Newell, Jake Carter, your top 5. Kyle Lafferty, Zach Martin, Zach Willis, Dylan Dampier, Ryan Hargis, Aaron Odell, Carter Jackson, John Newell, Oakley Ragland, Randall Cushing, Garrett Parker, and Colby Lathrop. Rounds out your field. I'm going to butcher that name all season until I learn it. Out of turn 4, green flag. Let's go racing. Dayton Newell trying to come up around the outside of the 17 of Rourke as that's the battle up front. Ben Newell, Tyler Cadunston gone. Tyler Cadunston, he's trying to run down that 83 machine, and he's all over that back bumper. Logan Rourke's got company all over his back bumper. Kyle Lafferty now down to the bottom side. Into the number 6 spot goes Lafferty around the 66 of Zach Martin. Yellow, yellow, yellow. The 28D of Dylan Dampier going to take a ride on the tilt-a-whirl up there at the top side of turn 4. Here we go. We're stacked and packed, bumper to bumper, door to door. Green flag coming back out. Let's go back to green racing. Ben Newell out front. Logan Roark slides up into that. Oh, we got a parking lot in 1 and 2. Yellow, 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 yellow. Parking lot in turn 1 and 2, right in the middle. Aaron Odell, Randall Cushing, and I think that's Colby Lathrop. Yeah, Colby Lathrop over there as well. Hey, everybody say it with me. You can't park there. All right, so Midway Speedway safety crew and track personnel down there getting the parking lot in 1 and 2 cleaned up, giving Aaron Odell a little push into the infield. Ben Newell still out front. He's been in charge since the drop of green. Tyler Cadunston and Logan Ruark there in that beautiful 17. They've been going at it, swapping spots all race. All right, single file restart, 1 to go from the starter stand. Lights are down. We're going to be green flag when they come out of turn number 4. Here we go, into 3, coming out of turn number 4. Green flag is in the air. Single file restart down to 1 and 2. Ben Newell going to be your race leader down the back stretch. Tyler Cadunston going to be sitting there in that number 2 spot. Logan Ruark sits in 3rd. Dayton Newell into the number 4 spot. Jake Carter holds on to 5th, but he's got Kyle Lafferty. Yellow, 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 yellow. The 14 of John Newell. The 14 of John Newell goes around coming out of turn number 4. Bringing out another caution. All right, so they were told 20 laps or 20 minutes, whichever comes first. So now we are going to go green, white, checkered, ladies and gentlemen. Green, white, checkered, because the 20-minute time limit is coming up. Lights off, ladies and gentlemen, down the back stretch. We're going to go $515 on the line for your Midwest Modifieds here for the opening night of Lebanon Speedway. Out of turn 4, green flags up and out and in the air. Ben Newell leads them down. Ben Newell going to say see you bye-bye as he got a great jump. Great run coming out of turn 2. Oh, Carter got incoming. Jake Carter and Zach Martin got together. Then Carter got hammered by somebody. I don't know who. And then Carter Jackson and Randall Cushing spun to avoid hitting. But Jake Carter got hammered hard. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go green and white together. Green and white together, which means this will be the final lap of this feature. They have hit their 20-minute time limit. Ben Newell, your race leader. He's got to hold on for one more lap. Tyler Cadunston, he's going to have to make it or break it. Here we go. You want to see something spectacular? Watch the flag man right here. Into 3, coming out of turn number 4. Green and white together. It's time to win it or wear it. Down through 1 and 2. We're clean and clear. Ben Newell's got clean air in front of him. Checkered flag for the 20 or the 83 of Ben Newell. Tyler Cadunston, Logan Ruard, your top 3. All right, race fans, you're going to have to make some noise when this gentleman steps out of his car. Give it up for the 83 of Ben Newell. Real quick, I totally forgot. I just got reminded. I need everybody in attendance to clap, scream, and cheer for the 87 of Aaron Odell and his wife, Brooklyn, who just got married last week. Congratulations, Aaron and Brooklyn. I know everybody here at the racetrack wants to wish you many happy years. Hey, everybody in attendance, I got two gals up here yelling at me, telling me that last call for concession. So if you're hungry or thirsty, now would be the time to go do it, because they made a point to walk all the way up here. So let's give Zachary Martin a round of applause, folks. Oh, that was such a cute little wave. Oh, so here they come, folks, our Young Gun Hornets. So at this time, I'm going to introduce the Young Gun announcer to read the starting lineup.
Row number 1 on the inside, we have the 66 of Max Dumlin. On the outside, we have the 4B of Connor Reed. Row number 2 on the inside, we have the 23 of Ryan Waldermuth. On the outside, we have the 8 of Carter Parrish. Row 3, we have the 44 of Peyton Willis. On the outside, we have the 18 of Maddox Dunn. Row 4, on the inside, we have the 5C of Callie Martin. On the outside, we have the 25 of Landon Strogan.
Race fans, I need everybody to get off your seat and on your feet. When these young guns come out of turn number 4, I want you to make enough noise for them to hear you over the rumble of their engines. Down into turn 3, they're going to go. Out of turn number 4, green flag. Look at these young guns rocking. Whoa! That's the whole field, except for one. I really hope everybody's okay, but in a way that was kind of awesome because I've never seen that before till now. So I believe the 66 went a little sideways and then just everybody else had nowhere to go. So red flag means we're going to come to a complete stop. We're going to shut it down. All right, lights are off, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to stack them up, and we're going to go green flag racing. Coming out of turn number 4. Don't forget to make some noise. Green flag is in the air. Man, the 23 of Ryan Wolgamut slingshotted that right there into 1 and 2. Connor Reed going to be your race leader. Here comes Wolgamut. Peyton Willis, the 18 of Maddox Dunn, going to be your top 4.
All right, we're gonna come down the back stretch of turn 3 and 4. The 4B of Connor Reed, still your race leader. The 23 of Ryan Wolgamut going to run it down. As the 4B of Connor Reed still going to be your race leader coming out of turn 1 and 2. We're gonna go down to the back stretch of turn. Coming out of turn 4.
All right, you got a battle up front here between the 4B of Connor Reed and the 23 there of Ryan Wogelman. Whoa, both of them got squirrely. Now you got a drag race for the lead. Slingshot around him into turn 3 goes the 23. Here we go. Peyton Will is coming up. Peyton Will is going to make it a 3-car battle. Here comes the 18 of Maddox Dunn. Top 4 battling it out. Here we go.
We're going to come out of the back stretch of turn 3 and 4 as the 4B going to try to run down the 23 of Ryan Walnut. Caution, caution. Yellow, yellow actually.
The 18 of Maddox Dunn goes nose first into the wall. The 44 of Peyton Willis had some trouble turning, and Maddox Dunn was just in the wrong spot at the wrong time.
In your first place slot, we got the 23 of Ryan Walnut. In the second place slot, we have the 4B of Connor Reed. And then in third place, we have the 25 of Landon Struggan. And riding in the back, we have the 18 of Maddox Dunn. All right, we're going to go lights off, and we're going to try this again. We're going to go lights off at the line, and we're going to try this again. Green flag next time by. Ryan Walnut is your leader, followed by Connor Reed, then Logan Sturgeon, and Maddox Dunn. All right, we're going to go down the backstretch into turn 3 and 4. Green flag in the air. The 4B is going to try to make a run on 23 of Ryan Walnut as we come out of turn 1 and 2. We're coming down the backstretch into turn 3 and 4. The 4B is going to, it's a drag race. There's a new leader, the 4B of Connor Reed. Coming into turn 1 and 2, your race leader still being the 4B of Connor Reed. The 25 of Landon Struggan. Coming out of turn 3 and 4, the 4B of Connor Reed still your race leader as we go into turn 1 and 2. The 25 is going to try to 25 of Landon Struggan is going to try to make a run on the 3. The 18 of Maddox Dunn is going to try to pass the 25 of Landon Struggan as we come into turn 3 and 4. Your race leader still being the 4B of Connor Reed. The 18 of Maddox Dunn is going to try to make a move on of the 25 of Landon Struggan. As we come down the backstretch into turn 3 and 4, the 23 of Ryan Wogelnut is getting kind of closer to the 4B of Connor Reed as we go into turn 1 and 2. We got 2 to go. And there's 2 to go for the race. The 23 of Ryan Wogelnut is going to try to run the high side and pass the 4B of Connor Reed as we go down the back. As the 4B of Connor Reed goes down the backstretch, we have the 23 of Ryan Wogelnut. We got 1 lap, white flag, 1 lap to go. As the 4B leading it, coming out of turn 1 and 2. The 23 of Ryan Wogelnut coming down the backstretch of turn 3 and 4. The 4B checkered flag in the air for 4B of Ryan Reed, Connor Reed, Ryan Wogelnut, and 18 of Maddox Dunn. And then round of applause for all of them.
Race fans, everybody needs to be screaming and cheering when this young man gets out of his car. First career feature win, first win here on opening night in the Young Gun Hornet class. Where's he going? Oh, okay. They're saying, okay. I thought we was gonna do it right there on the front stretch. All right, so down there in Victory Lane, gonna get his big old fancy check. I don't know if the bank will accept it, but you can try. If you're interested in getting your youngster in one of these cars, get a hold of Tim Day. He's doing a Driven to Win program, and it's to help young drivers like these kids here get experience and get into racing. Ladies and gentlemen, Connor Reed. All right, pulling out onto the track now, you got your Power Eye Pure Stocks. On the pole is going to be the N42 of Chad Nivens, and on his outside, the 0 of James Reedus. Row number 2 is going to be the 32 of Richard Adams, and the 19 of Trenton Houston. Row number 3 is going to be the 5 of Justin McDowell, and the 21M in the Power Wagon, Peyton McDowell. Row number 4 is going to be the 42 of Trevor Ellingson, and the 21 of Carson Groninger. Row 5, you got the 26 of Preston McDowell, and the 68 of Rhonda Lamke. And riding shotgun at row number 6 is going to be the 78 of Orso Sterling. Here we go. 15 laps the distance for your Power Eye Pure Stocks. Down the back stretch, we're going to go lights off. Keith the flag man's going to do the jig coming out of turn 4. Green flag is in the air. Pure Stock Pandemonium. Oh, 4 wide out of 2. I don't think I've ever seen 4 wide here at the Mighty Midway. Chad Niven's going to be your race leader. James Reedus is there. Here comes Justin McDowell, Richard Adams, Trenton Houston. Peyton McDowell trying to slice and dice his way up through traffic. Now James Reedus got the run down on the bottom side of Chad Nivens as they're going to go down to the 3 and 4. Trenton Houston to the top side of Richard Adams. Peyton McDowell's going to be there as well. Bang! Got him! New race leader, James Reed is going to move up into that number 1 spot by about a fender of a car. Chad Niven's going to hold on, but now he's going to shuffle back into the back bumper. Here comes the 19 of Trenton Houston. Richard Adams going to be sitting in that number 4 spot. Peyton McDowell rounds out your top 5. Then you got Carson Groninger, Justin McDowell, and Trevor Ellingson battling out back there for that number 6 spot. As it is an all-out battle. It's throw a blanket on the top, I don't know, 8 or 9, and it's anybody's race right now. As we come out of turn number 4. Whoa, Trevor Ellingson got a little wild. Going to cause him to shuffle back a few spots. It is all James Reedus right now in that FAFO machine. As they come out of turn number 4, we are still clean and green. Peyton McDowell now up into the number 3 spot there in the Power Wagon, trying to get up and around the 19 of Trenton Houston. As Justin McDowell trying to get up and around Richard Adams there into the number 5 spot. Chad Niven's going to hold on to 4th. Oh, a little bit of contact back here at the back part of the field between Carson Groninger and Trevor Ellingson. Oh, Ellingson's got trouble. That right front is leaning way in on the top. There it goes. That right front is toast. Yeah, that right front should not be sitting like a late model wheel. So Trevor Ellingson is going pit side. It is James Reedus out front. Peyton McDowell into the number 2 spot. Trenton Houston going to hold on as he's going to be right there to the outside. Justin McDowell up into the number 4 spot. Richard Adams up into 5th. James Reedus better stomp on the loud pedal because he's got Peyton McDowell all over the back bumper. A little shot to the shorts to McDowell from Houston as they went down into 1 and 2. A little bit of lap traffic about to become an issue. Can Reedus navigate his way around it clean and clear? Reedus going to have to thread the needle now. He's going to have to pick a line and make it work. As Reedus goes way low, he's going to slingshot around Rhonda Lampke. Here comes Peyton McDowell to the outside. James Reedus still down on the bottom side of the speedway. It is Reedus, but he's got McDowell all over the back bumper. Now Houston gets around the lap traffic. Top 3 clean and clear. Now Justin McDowell back there in 4th. He's going to have to come around. Reedus holding on by a thread. We got 2 more trips around here. For the 0 of James Reedus. Peyton McDowell, he is very patient when it comes to racing. White flag, 1 to go. Time to make it or break it. McDowell going to go up a little higher through 1 and 2. Now it's going to be down to the back stretch for the final time. McDowell goes to the top side, going to stomp on the loud pedal. Coming out of turn number 4. Checkered flag for James Reedus. Peyton McDowell, Trenton Houston, your top 3. So down there in victory lane, driving the number 0. Going to get the window net down, safety equipment off. Going to have to make some noise when that gentleman gets out of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, the 0 of James Reedus. All right, race fans, that is going to wrap up your Power Eye Pure Stock class for the first night here at the Mighty Midway. Round of applause for James Reedus. Up next, you got your Power Eye Hornets. And here's how the lineup is going to go. On the pole is going to be the 6 of Dustin Reeves into his outside, the 2M of Corbin Mooney. Row number 2 is going to be the 57 of Josh Clark into his outside, the 195 of Tyler Dawson. Row number 3 is going to be the 2 of Justin Day and the 93 of Down and Dirty Daniel Barton. Row number 4 is going to be the 3M of Bobby Mooney and the 05G of Grayson McKinney. Row 5, you got the 12N of Natalie Crow and the 21B of Monty Barclay. Row number 6 is going to be the 51F of Levi Felton and the 63W of David Kirkpatrick. And riding shotgun, who's not able to make the call, going to be the 80 of Jim Cook. All right, here we go. 15 laps the distance down the backstretch into 3. They're going to go. Fill the work on in out of 4. Green flag is up and out and in the air for your Power Eye Hornets. Dustin Reeves going to lead them out of 2 and down the back stretch. Josh Clark going to be sitting there in the number 2 spot. Corbin Mooney holding on to that number 3 spot, but he's got Tyler Dawson and Justin Day all over the bottom side. And that's rounding out your top 5. Daniel Barton going to be sitting there in 6th. Bobby Mooney sits in 7th. And then Kirkpatrick and McKinney going to battle it out there for 7th and 8th. But out front, trying to walk away, going to be the 6 of Dustin Reeves. Josh Clark going to, oh, look at that 3 wide down the front stretch here for that number 3 spot between Tyler Dawson, Justin Day, and Corbin Mooney. Out of 4, going to cross the stripe with the race leader, the 6 of Dustin Reeves, who is trying to walk away. He's going to make quick work of Natalie Crow there. As we're going to get through 3 and 4, almost single file all the way through the field. It's Dustin Reeves, Josh Clark, Tyler Dawson, your top 3. Followed in by Justin Day and Corbin Mooney, your top 5. Daniel Barton sits in 6th. Bobby Mooney and now, David Kirkpatrick trying to battle up there with Bobby Mooney for that number 7 spot. As Kirkpatrick's going to take over the number 7. Look at the 3-car battle back here for second between Dawson, Clark, and Day. Dawson going to get up into that number 2 spot, but he's got Josh Clark all over his outside, Justin Day all over the bottom side. As Dawson's going to be like, you know what? We're going to drop a gear and see you later. Oh, Clark gives Dawson a little touch. Day gives Clark a little touch. It's not a domino effect, guys. Come on now. Clark looking like he was trying to give Dawson another little bump, little shot to the shorts, let him know, hey, I'm still here, bud. You ain't lost me yet. Bobby Mooney to the infield. Bobby Mooney down to the infield. He's got trouble on the 3M machine. Coming out of turn 4 with your race leader, the 6 of Dustin Reeves, who's got almost a full straightaway on that one. Oh, contact. Oh, into the wall hard. Yellow, 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 yellow. Josh Clark and Justin Day made contact hard, and then Clark goes right into the wall, hard hit. Driver is okay. I can see him moving down there. The flag man's going to do the jig as we're going to come out of turn number 4. Green flag is going to be in the air. Everybody's going to get through 1 and 2, clean and clear the 63 of Kirkpatrick. He's going to be up there to the bottom side of Justin Day, going to try to run down that number 3 spot. Out front, it is still the 6 of Dustin Reeves. Tyler Dawson sits in 2nd. Justin Day 3rd and David Kirkpatrick 4th. The battle for 5th is underway between Daniel Barton and Grayson McKinney as they're going to go down the backstretch door to door into 3. Justin Day now coming down to the bottom side of Tyler Dawson, as that is now the battle to watch for the number 2 spot between the 2 car and the 195. Now Justin Day is going to have a little bit of running room as he's got that number 2 spot picked off, as he's going to come up in front of Tyler Dawson. Now Justin Day just got to run down that 6 machine of Dustin Reeves. They're going to cross the stripe. 2 more trips around, ladies and gentlemen. 2 more trips around for $500. Who's going to take home the check and the cash? As they're going to go down the back stretch and into 3. Dustin Reeves, your race leader. Justin Day is going to have to make it. White flag, 1 to go. Checkers or wreckers time. Down the back stretch, they're going to go for the final time. Coming to 3. Coming out of turn number 4 to the checkered flag, the 6 of Dustin Reeves. Justin Day, Tyler Dawson, your top 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your Power Eye Hornets opening night feature winner. Going to have to make some noise when he gets out of his car. Ladies and gentlemen, the 6 of Dustin Reeves. All right, race fans, final feature of the night going to be your Power Eye B mods. And here's how they're going to line up on the pole. It's going to be the 5 of Robert White. And to his outside, the 20D of Dawson David. Row number 2 is going to be the 65 of Chris Jackson. And to his outside, the 30 of Rex Harris. Row number 3 is going to be the 2 of Eric Graves with the 55 of Colson Kirk on the outside. Inside of row number 4 is going to be the 86 of Jeff Albright. And to the outside, the 16M of the Batman, Brian Myers. Row number 5, you got the 11 of Waylon Dimmitt. And the 35E of Luke Aiken. Row 6 going to be the 28 of Wesley Briggs and the 15 of Jeremy Hazel. Row 7 going to be the 88 of Lonnie Hibner and the 49 of Mason Rodden. Row 8 going to be the 5C of Brian Cook and the 2A of Scott Lunsford. Row 9, the 14C of Cody Crabtree and the 68 of Donnie Betts. And riding shotgun all by himself in row number 10 going to be the 6T of Austin Treadway. Oh, Doctor. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing with B-Mods. Final feature of the night. Lights are down, 1 to go from the starter stand. 20 laps, 19 cars. Dawson David, Robert White up there on the front row. Chris Jackson, Rex Harris, row number 2. This is going to be awesome. We're going to turn these fire-breathing dragons loose down into 3. We're going to fill the work on in. Here we go, modifieds at Midway. One down through 1 and 2. We are clean and clear. Robert White going to be out front. He's got Dawson David to the outside. Oh, a little bit of contact between Eric Graves and Rex Harris, but we're going to stay clean and green as we're down through. Oh, motor! Motor goes bye-bye for Robert White. Yellow, 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 yellow. Robert White's motor went bye-bye. All right, so Robert White's going to... 1 to go from the starter stand. Green flag next time by. Lights are down. Down the back stretch and into 3 we're going to go. Dawson David going to lead them on in out of turn number 4. Green flag is back up and out and in the air. Here we go. So Brian Cook goes around over here in turn 1. Eric Graves goes around over here in turn 4. All right, we're going to send them single file right now so we can try to get these laps taken care of. Dawson David, your race leader. Chris Jackson sits in 2nd. Rex Harris 3rd. Colson Kirk 4th. Jeff Albright going to be sitting in that number 5 spot. Lights are down, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be green flag with a single file restart as they come out of turn number 4. Here we go. Everybody's through 1 and 2, clean and clear. As your race leader, the 20D of Dawson David, comes out of turn 4, going to cross the stripe. Jackson Harris, your top 3. Oh, look out, Lunsford goes around over there in turn 4. Yellow, 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 yellow. Scott Lunsford loops it around over here in turn number 4. Green flag is in the air. Here we go back to B-Mods. Here he comes. Chris Jackson on the top shelf. Gonna tiptoe through the tulips. You got a new race leader. Chris Jackson gonna clock out and say, bye-bye, I'm going home. Rex Harris now trying to get down and around the bottom side of the 20D of Dawson David. Harris going to get around. Yellow, 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 yellow. Yellow is out. Yellow is out. I believe that is the 5C of Brian Cook. So Brian Cook down to the infield as he's got a mangled front end and hood. One to go from the starter stand. We're going to stay single file restart until we can get some laps completed. Chris Jackson, your new race leader. Dawson David, Rex Harris, your top three. Colson Kirk, Jeff Albright, top five. Waylon Dimmitt, odd man out, looking in, sitting in sixth. The Batman, Brian Meyer, is going to be sitting in that number 7 spot. Coming out of turn number 4. Green flag is up and out and in the air. Here we go. We're clean through 1 and 2 as your race leader comes out of turn number 4. Everybody's kind of single filed out right now. As Chris Jackson leads the charge out of 4, going to cross the stripe. Dawson David, Rex Harris, your top 3. It is literally choo-choo train style. Everybody's pretty much running the exact same line. Everybody's bumper to bumper all the way around the speedway. Chris Jackson up front in that 65, starting to create some separation between him and the 20D of Dawson David. Rex Harris back in third, trying to run down that number 2 spot. Colson Kirk in no man's land, all by his lonesome in fourth, trying to run down Rex Harris. And Jeff Albright there in that beautiful black and gold 86, going to be sitting in that number 5 spot. Waylon Dimmitt, 6th. Brian Meyer, 7th. Luke Aiken, 8th. Followed in by the 88 of Lonnie Nibbler, or Lonnie Hibner. Yellow is out for the 77 of Jeremy Hazel as he loops it around coming out of turn number 4. Eight laps down, 12 more remaining. Can Chris Jackson hold on to that number 1 spot? So we got laps completed, so we're going to go back to the Delaware double file restart. Chris Jackson out front. Dawson Davis going to take the bottom side. That's going to put Rex Harris to the top. Colson Kirk goes down and Jeff Albright goes up. That's going to be your top 5. Green flag is up and out and in the air. Down the back stretch, the field's going to go. Chris Jackson out front. Dawson David down on the bottom side of the speedway, holding on to that number 2 spot. Colson Kirk down to the bottom side of Rex Harris, trying to get up in yellow. We got a parking lot over there in turn 3 and 4. It looks like Wesley Briggs, Austin Treadway, Jeremy Hazel, and Cody Crabtree all collected together over there. Here we go. Light's going to go down. We got the 1 to go from the starter stand, which means we're going to be green flag racing when they come out of turn number 4. Chris Jackson going to be up there by his lonesome, your race leader. Out of turn number 4, green flag is back in the air. Down at a 1 and 2, we're going to rock and roll. Oh, buddy. Donnie Betts, Mason Rodden kind of got a little bit together. As we come out of turn 4, Chris Jackson still your race leader. Brian Myers able to come back out onto the speedway as he's going to try to catch up to the rest of the field. He is on the lead lap still, so he's not a lap down yet. But Chris Jackson is coming to call. He's on the attack, on the hunt, and on the prowl as he's going to lead them on down to 1 and 2. Dawson David going to be sitting there in that number 2 spot. Rex Harris 3rd. Colson Kirk 4th, and now Waylon Dimmitt up there into that top 5. Oh, Eric Graves goes around at the top of turn 4. Yellow is out. Yellow. All right, here we go. Delaware double file. Lights off. Keith the flag man's going to give them that 1 to go. Jackson out front. Can Chris Jackson hold on to that race lead? Green flag is in the air as they are 3 wide. Look at the jump on the 88 of Hibner. He got a great jump on that start. Gonna slingshot up into that number 4 spot. Chris Jackson still your race leader as he comes out of turn number 4. 3 wide battle back here for that number 2 spot. Hibner up into 2nd. Oh, now Dawson David's able to power it back, take over that number 2 spot. Chris Jackson, he's going to be like, all right, guys, I'm done playing games. Let's get this race over. Out of turn 4, Chris Jackson, still your race leader. Dawson David. Rex Harris is going to come back up into that number 3 spot. It is all the Chris Jackson show right now. Movie marathon for that 65 machine. As he is cooking and booking. He's going to cross the stripe. You're going to see 2 more trips around. Coming out of turn number 4 with your race leader to the white flag. 1 to go for the 65 of Chris Jackson. Dawson David Rex Harris rounds out your top 3. Oh, we got a parking lot in 4. But we're going to yellow and checkered, yellow and checkered, yellow and checkered. The 65 of Chris Jackson takes the win. So because the white flag was already out, we go yellow and checkered. So the win goes to the 65 of Chris Jackson. All right, race fans, down there in victory lane, you're going to have to make some noise as he gets his equipment off and gets the climbing out of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, your Power Eye B-Mod feature winner for the opening night at the mighty Midway Lebanon Speedway. $65 of Chris Jackson. Leaving, have a safe trip driving home, have a great weekend, and we will be back next Friday night right here at the mighty Midway Lebanon Speedway in Lebanon, Missouri.